Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain, thanks, Ray.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What you got to do with it?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
A 3,500-pound container of sodium hurtles into...
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
This is business, Florence. You got a guy who works here by the name of Tiernan?
Sure we do. He's a pin setter. Clears the jams, works the gutters. Go right in. He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back. He's a nice boy.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Baseball bat.
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to lam it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer!
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble. That is the end of that. It's about fucking time.
Show me your hands! You know the way. We can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Doesn't look like anybody's home.
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that. I don't think so.
He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in
We're
here?
from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you gonna give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
From the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene.
Doesn't look like anything.
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Grosvenor McCaffrey!
Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk. You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
Yeah, get that box.
There he is, officer!
Hey, you get it!
Give it up, LAPD.
McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it, what's that Dahlia fuck?
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the doll yet?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, Jack?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush, and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me.
We know that you thought enough of her to loan out your copy of the Metaphysics.
I what? I did no such thing. That bitch stole that book from my apartment. The impudent fucking moron.
And that made you angry?
Angry? I was livid. Looking up at me with that stupid face of hers, begging me to forgive her. Aha. Very good. That's one to you, detective.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out. You're gonna need to do better if you don't want to swing for this.
I was having a political meeting in my apartment.
Cheese and crackers for the fifth columnist.
Some of these people will corroborate your story.
I won't give up names of party members.
Good. Your funeral.
It's either gonna be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a dusting he didn't forget. I was door knocking all morning. Got to make him a car in the end.
Son, you're a couple of shingles.
Side.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
Looks like I made a mistake. Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
You don't like McCaffrey, do you, Tiernan?
He's full of the common man routine, but he props up a bar like the rest of us. Evelyn thought he was going to be a great novelist. He had nothing but vitriol for her.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
No, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
I want the truth. I think you broke into McCaffrey's apartment and planted a lug wrench there.
I didn't do that, and there's no way you can prove any different. As hard as this is for you to contemplate, I really loved Evelyn. She was kind and gentle to me.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear. Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thank you.
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a death.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book. And she got what was coming to her! Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys, you bagged a fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead, first platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Now we rally with the first and try for the Nambus.
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nambus and enfilade. Mate, we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes! I'm in charge here, Sergeant! Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant! What's your unit, Sergeant? We don't have time for this, Lieutenant! What's your unit, Sergeant? I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river. My orders are to reconnoiter the... I think that point is now moot! You have 10 men left! My orders are to save what's left! Move out!
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case. But we have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
No one else but the killer knew about this message. Another snippet from the Shelley poem. To suffer woes which hope thinks infinite, to forgive wrongs darker than death or night. If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrellson.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Muller
Hang
case.
on a moment, Skipper.
Let me finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder.
Ah, fuck it. I knew this run was too good to be true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
Forget what it's supposed to. What does he want?
Where are you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right? A guy that God hates, chains him up.
It's an allegory, Rusty.
A what? Story with two meanings. A symbolic meaning. But that's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square? Could it be that easy?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain, thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.